So we're going to just go ahead and get started. It is 8:03. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for joining. And if you are not watching and joining us live, you'll see the recording once it is shared. So hi again, I'm Crystal Fairweather. I have a partner, Sharifa Clark. We bring to you scholarship opportunities that are relevant to you in an effort to mitigate any hardships and the financial cost of college, which can be quite cumbersome. So tonight, again, we're going to go over two scholarships with upcoming deadlines, 12/6. They are both Thurgood Marshall scholarships. One is the JPMorgan Chase Hardship Scholarship. The other is the Sallie Mae Fund Completing the Dream Gap Scholarship. Hello, thanks for joining. I'm just getting started. Welcome in. So tonight, again, two scholarships. So I'm going to put the link to what I'm going over in the chat so that you all have access. There are two scholarships due Friday, December 6th. Let me go ahead and put it in the chat now. Once you've created your profile for Thurgood Marshall, you'll log in, you'll see a list of scholarships, and it'll look like this. It's sorted, I think it's it's alphabetical. If you click on deadline, you may have to click it once or twice. It will then sort it by due most recent. So in this descending order. So these are the two we're going to focus on tonight. So once you've created your Thurgood Marshall College Fund account, and I'm logged into mine here, and that's what we're seeing, you'll click on one at a time. Gives you an overview of the scholarship. Again, it's due this Friday, December 6th. The reward is up to, so here it says $2,500, but then when you look at the overview, it shows you up to $2,500. Really important that you take a look at this. So 126 scholars will be selected to receive a full scholarship of up to. This number is really big, 126. What I've learned, even in my receiving of scholarships over the last few years, even if you're in the lower number, if you don't get the 2,500, even if you get 500, it's wonderful and a great benefit to be a part of the recipient count. So it's important to look this over. Thurgood Marshall College Fund member schools that include approximately 54 publicly supported HBCUs and PBIs, medical and law schools is who this is eligible for or to. The applicant must be a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. We've done a few of these in the past couple months or so since we've gotten started. I know we didn't get to do anything in November, but like I've told you all before, it's important to apply, and let them tell you no. Though you may think you do not meet some of these qualifications, I would still encourage you to apply because you don't want to count yourself out. I think that's the running theme. So you've heard me say that a few times. You've heard Sharifa say that a few times. Let them tell you no. And so I began my application. So I'm going to just walk you guys through what this looks like, what you should be doing in preparation for this. Again, the two we're going over tonight, for those who just joined us, two scholarships, both due this Friday, December 6th. They are both through the Thurgood Marshall College Fund Scholarship Program. One is the JPMorgan Chase Hardship Scholarship, tongue twister. The other is the Sallie Mae Fund Completing the Dream Gap Scholarship. So I put a link to this exact scholarship in the chat. If you don't have access to it, if you can't see it because you're just joining, just let me know and I'll resubmit it. So once you've accessed the website, it'll probably have you at the dashboard. Click on scholarships. It's in alphabetical order by scholarship name. Hit deadline. You may have to hit it twice so that it is now in descending order, and you'll see the two I'm referring to right at the top. So I'm going to start with JPMorgan Chase. Again, those are the overviews we just talked about. Don't count yourself out. Apply. So I'm going to go to application. And again, this is populated with my personal info because I probably will apply. I go to a CUNY school here in Brooklyn, which is considered a PBI, so I am eligible. And even if I wasn't, like I said, I would apply. So I'm gonna, once you all have done your profile within here, and it's just showing you some of the preliminary questions it asks, your academic classification, college you attend, whether you're full-time, part-time, your student ID, and so forth. Once you've done all that, there are financial questions, whether you've done a FAFSA, et cetera. These are really basic, don't require much thinking. They're not really a part of your application, but it's just your profile so they know who they're working with. Ask you information about how you got access or know about TMCF, Thurgood Marshall College Fund. Go ahead and answer those. There are supplemental questions. I think it's just as a way for them to get to understand who's applying. I think they run like a report to see who's comfortable with being exposed to unfamiliar work versus who likes dealing with just what's in front of them on their plate. Working on a team and just the type of team member you are, again, I think is just a way for them to get an understanding of who they're awarding scholarships to, who's applying for scholarships, etc. Now, this part here, I think the additional questions, yes, the additional questions tab is where the actual submission that you all have to work on that requires some effort will be done. So ask about your citizenship status, if you have a disability, are you a first generation student? Really important. And I think, while I don't think it's a decision maker, I think they do weight those of us who may be first generation college students in our family versus those who come from a lineage of college graduates. And then, you'll just review for accuracy, take a look at everything here. So here is the prompt for this scholarship. It's a video. I think we did talk about this scholarship in October, and we kind of just had an overview. We didn't get in depth with it, but now's the time since this is due in 2 days. So this one is a video short answer question. What I recommend with this is doing a YouTube video. If you don't want your YouTube video to be public where anyone can access it, there is a way to make private YouTube videos so that only those with the link can access it. You can also do a quick YouTube search of how do I make a private YouTube video, and it'll prompt you with how to do that. You may even want to do this on TikTok. I know you all have probably seen the challenges where folks are being silly with their parents, grandparents, etc., doing fake scholarship prompts, and then they're pranking their folks, and they do it on TikTok. You probably could does TikTok do 2-minute videos? I don't even know. But you could probably also submit a TikTok. But you're going to want to provide, however you record, whatever manner you do that in, just make sure your video is accessible by others. So share it with your mom, dad, best friend, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, so that they can access it, so that once you submit, that those on the scholarship committee are able to access your video. So this is the prompt. Tell us about a time when you succeeded or failed. What were your learnings from the experience? So it tells you here you can use any public platform to make your videos, such as YouTube. Got to have a working link to that video and ensure that your video link works. Make sure the video is working and viewable to those with the link and not only private to you. So what I was talking about with it being private, it doesn't lock it where it requires a password, but it makes it so that only those with the link can access it. So just double check it. I want to talk a little bit about this prompt, and I would love for you all to share out in the chat, come off mute. If you want to get on camera, you can do that too. Share your thoughts where you would go with this. I will provide some strategies, but I'm curious right now as to how your wheels are turning and what you're thinking when you read this prompt. Got 6 people here with me, hoping to hear 5 or 6 voices. Hi, Lakeisha. I'm very familiar with your name. Happy to see you here. Kayla, Malin, Crandall, Crossland, Makai. Okay, Makai's mom. Okay. Everybody shy tonight? Are we still full from Thanksgiving? Oh, okay, you guys already worked on your recording. Awesome. All right, so I would say reading this prompt, what comes to mind for me? Yes, look, I would love that. Miss Crandall Crossland, please play it.
Hi, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, let me know if you can hear the video. 1 second.
And numbers and ask me to act.
I was just going to say,
my name is Makai Croson, and I'm 17 years old.
Shared with
At
others.
the time I succeeded.
I'm sorry?
This video tonight is being recorded for others to see if they are not able to make it tonight. So as long as you're comfortable with Makai's recording being seen by others.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Was the audio okay?
Yes, it is. I can hear it loud and clear.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Makai Croson, and I'm 17 years old. And the time I succeeded was when I was helping my aunt do her taxes. We were on a bus going to Niagara Falls for a family trip, and she had gave me a notebook, pencil, and numbers, and asked me to add it all up. And that's what I did. I took the notebook, took the pencil, and I added all the numbers up. I had got a total, then I gave it to her. She checked it, but sadly I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and I tried to brainstorm different ways I could get the right answer. So instead of adding all the numbers up this time, I broke it down. I added 2 numbers, found a total, added 2 numbers, found a total, and then I added those totals. So it could get me to the correct answer. And this time I also double checked my work after I thought I was finished. And I gave it to her. She checked it and it was right this time. And in this case, it's a success for me because it taught me that sometimes in life you're gonna fail. But instead of looking at a failure as a failure, look at it as a mistake. And what do we do from our mistakes? We learn from our mistakes. So in this case, me failing was me getting the answer wrong the first time. Me learning from the failure was me brainstorming ways to get the answer, but showing more work to where I understand what I'm doing and I'm less likely to make a mistake. And then my success was me finally getting the answer right. And this is actually a everyday thing. Like people fail. Failure is gonna happen. It's just that you have to learn from these failures if you want to succeed. And don't beat yourself up about it. It's gonna happen. You gotta fail in order to learn. It's all about how you come back from the failure. And that was the time I succeeded.
Awesome. You get 2 points from me, one for volunteering. It's always a little uncomfortable to be the first to share out. And a second for the progress and effort made on that. That was great. I didn't have a timer going to indicate how long that was, but you always want to make sure, you're within the time frame. So they're asking for 2 minutes. You don't want to go a second over because I have seen and experienced being disqualified for going over. So that was excellent though. Way to go, Makai.
That was 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Look at that. All right. Perfect. One thing I do want to also illuminate when you're doing things, applying to a scholarship that requires you to be on camera and recording, is how you're dressed. Oftentimes, business professional is appropriate. There are also times when being in so if you're a cheerleader and it's asking for something like, tell us about a time you've cheered or something like that, it's appropriate, obviously, to be in your cheer outfit or costume. So it's all about what the prompt is asking you for, what you're gauging from, or the type of scholarship it is. If it's academic, if it's more performance-based, you can certainly dress to the type of scholarship that it is. So ensuring that we're well groomed, no distractions, lighting is pretty good, things like that. Anyone else want to kind of share how their wheels are turning and how they would begin to reply to this prompt? You've got we're already at the end of December 4th. This is due December 6th, so just 2 days. But you got 2 days to make 2 minutes count, right? So anything getting your wheels turning. All right, that's fine. Another thing I did like about Makai's video, he summed it up and gave you the failure, but then how he considered it a success. And I will just impart on you all and share that a failure is also an opportunity to learn and grow from. And so if you I think about my time in high school sometimes and how many classes I failed and how poorly I was doing and how I almost didn't graduate, and big failure. My mother did everything but beat me, but where I am now, statistically, I probably shouldn't be. I'm doing well now. I work for the Department of Education as a budget director. Against all odds, right? And so I've taken those failures, not being mature enough in my high school years, and I'm doing the right thing through college and on to my professional career. So think about things like that. Think about failures that you've learned from and those opportunities for growth. So once you have successfully recorded your video, your hair is good, everything is well, you're clearly speaking, you're going to do your video upload, ensure that your TMCF profile is up to date and you have uploaded a great link. They're also requiring a professional photo. You may not have one. They're asking for either a professional headshot, a graduation photo, or any high quality professional grade image. What I have done and what has worked for me, if you have a tripod at home or any kind of way, young folks are creative, right? You all will prop your phone up on a mirror or glass or anything. I did that. I did it on a tripod. I threw on a cute Instagram filter to kind of smooth me out. And I use that as my professional headshot. I've been using it for a couple years now. So you want to ensure you have that. And then there are other things here as a part of your profile. FERPA acknowledgement, that's the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. You want to ensure that you've checked all these boxes. There's also a TMCF acknowledgement. This is just making sure that you're going to stay in communication with TMCF, that you're going to monitor your emails to ensure that if they contact you asking for more information, that you will be responsive. And this is for TMCF's doing. I guess this is how they review the scholarship. So once you've done all these, your additional questions are answered and you've uploaded your video, you're good to go. And you can, this here will say submit application. You'll be able to click it. I'm going to work on mine probably the next day. Any questions about this one? I'm going to go on to the Sallie Mae Fund. Okay, cool. The Sallie Mae Fund completing the dream. So it is in the same portal here. I'm going to go back to scholarships. Again, I've sorted by the deadline. I haven't even gotten an opportunity to look at this in detail myself. But let's take a look. Also due December 6th. This one has 200 students that they're awarding. And the criteria says completing a 2-year, 4-year, or even a trade or vocational certificate. And you'll be receiving a gap scholarship of $2,500. This one doesn't say up to 25. So this is exactly 25. That's great. 200 students, getting $2,500. It's pretty good. You must be in good academic standing, but at risk of not returning or graduating due to financial needs. So I love this because it really shows you've got to have a hardship. So you must be a senior or completing a graduate program. But again, guys, I'm going back to my running theme. Let them tell you no. Apply, apply, apply. And then there's all this criteria here. GPA of at least 2.75, U.S. citizen, and so forth. Okay, maybe they're only asking for this. I don't see, unless they're using the same criteria for that scholarship. Maybe this one, the one video submission may be for both, which is a good thing. And then they'll probably ask for additional information once they begin reviewing applications. So I've seen that before. I forgot which. There's like a network of scholarship and they've done this. It was the Bill Gates scholarship. They have a running list of open applications. And so you do one application and they kind of match you with, or they'll pair you up. So it looks like that's the same for this because I don't see a separate criteria. So you get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So you've got 2 days to record yourself over 2 minutes for a chance of up to $2,500. So I think that's great. Since that one these 2 went pretty quickly, I'm going to run through my list of upcoming scholarships I want to review with you all as a way to get a head start. So bear with me one moment. We'll do 3. Here is a third scholarship. This is due December 12th. So again, I want you to prioritize those Thurgood Marshall College Fund scholarships that are closing 12/6, which is this Friday. But here is a third scholarship it's due December 12th. So since we kind of went quickly through those last 2, I want to bring this one up. So this is the Procter & Gamble HBCU YOU scholarship program. It's for those who are full-time and have a GPA of 3 or higher. You must be enrolled in a full-time undergraduate program in the U.S. So here it is again, deadline December 12th, up to $2,500. I'm going to drop this one in the chat as well. There you go. And you'll just click on apply now. We had worked on some UNCF as well about a month or so ago. So you should be familiar with this website. It also requires a profile. So as part of the profile, I'm going to share my screen really quick just so that you can familiarize yourself with the profile. Some of it is your personal info, educational status and history, accomplishments, so forth. And in the accomplishments section, you want to add in any community service. So it's really user-friendly and intuitive. It gives you the tabs on the side, on the left side. And then at the top is kind of the headers. So for the accomplishments, community service, you'll add a minimum of 3, or sorry, a maximum of 3. No one should have 0. I think some of you did some volunteering over Thanksgiving with BU. You want to ensure you put that on here as well. Some Thanksgiving, feeding the hungry in the community, etc. If you are in need of community service and volunteering opportunities, my church has quite a bit. So you can reach out to me, crystal.fairweather@gmail.com. My church is here in Brooklyn. And you'll just add your community service here. Same for your leadership detail. You'll click on this and you'll add your leadership details. That can include being the president, vice president, secretary, etc. of a club you're a part of, be it at school or any extracurricular activities. If you're a section leader, I sing in the choir at church. We have soprano, alto, tenor, etc. If you're a section leader, choir section leader, you can add that. If you are an older sibling and you help mom, dad, auntie, uncle with the little kids, you can find a very creative and intuitive way to talk about being a leader in your family. So I recommend maxing out doing the 3. Again, you want your application to be as robust, full, and engaging as possible. And then lastly, here is the employment. Someone had a question. Is this one okay for them? It says already. I would apply, Lakeisha. You never know. My church had a scholarship. I know it's not the same, but sometimes, and I've experienced this, I've spoken to folks on a scholarship committee. They'll open a scholarship, have it open for 2 months. They'll extend the deadline. And oftentimes when you said deadline extended, folks are not applying. This one particular scholarship, people did not apply. There were maybe 5 applicants total, and the committee didn't release how much they would be awarding students. One of the women reached out to me. She wanted me to share it wide with this scholarship was specific to students at CUNY. And so she said, Crystal, can you share it amongst your circle? I said, sure, no problem. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, I don't know what it is. Students are not applying. The 5 or so students who did apply, only 2 of them one of them met the criteria. The second one, they bent the rules simply because they wanted to award more than one person. So I know that's a bit of an extreme example, but you never know. They may be expecting hundreds of people to apply and then 50 do. And it's like, you know what? They made the effort. They may be a high school senior instead. Let's just try. So don't count yourself out. Go ahead and apply. And then it gives you the practice for when you are in college. And oftentimes these same scholarships come around, they just date it differently. So this one is 2024, 2025. It'll come out next year, 25, 26. And it's like, oh, I did this one last year. I remember. I remember being bogged down with the profile, but I can do this. And so get the practice going. It's a good opportunity. So add your employment, internship, fellowship details here as well. And you'll want to do as many as possible. Then here's the essay. The instructions are just on the right, take the time and effort to describe your extracurricular activities as it relates to your career interests and goals. Excuse me. So this one doesn't give a word count, which is interesting, but that's fine. But I would say at least 250 words is a good kind of foundation. So start with 250 words describing your extracurriculars and career interests and goals. I would start with very simple questions to myself. What are my career interests? Second question, what are my goals? Third one, what are my extracurricular activities? I would answer each one individually and separately. Then at the end, I would kind of tie it in or figure out how to tie them in together. If you do this strategy, kind of chunking it apart and dissecting it in smaller pieces, it becomes easier to write and it'll flow a little better. Thinking about words that will go and flow into the next paragraph or the next portion of your essay are really important as well. I think Ty said you guys have like an academic group, so they may be able to assist you with writing this essay as well. And that's really it for this application. You would save and continue. I don't know if it'll let me, being that I didn't upload anything. Well, yeah, so it asks for your transcript. Unofficial is fine. I know official takes some time to get. You'll add it, save and continue. You do not want to opt out. I would leave that in contact. Oh, here we go. And this is just your signature where you're acknowledging. And it's prompting me, because I didn't finish it, I'm just showing you all, it's prompting me to go back. All right. So any questions about this application? Thank you, Lakeisha, for your questions. Okay. Well, we got through 3 scholarships in about 30 minutes. I don't want to bombard you tonight. Again, I'll put the link to the Thurgood Marshall in the chat again, so you all have access, and to UNCF. I'm going to stay on, answer any questions. If you want help with your prompts, I'm here. I do not want to miss out on your opportunity. So I'm just going to play some background music while you ask your questions, but I'm here. Lakeisha, I feel like you were one of the main folks that's been coming quite often. And where'd my screen go? And you were already applying, and you had your child applying. How's it been going? Do you find that things are difficult or anything?